was distribution. This was distribution. You're marked down. You're marked down. Went into reaccumulation. Went into reaccumulation, and then we started our markup. We went into a macro bull flag of an ABC correction, and when within that macro fractal, we were actually following this micro fractal almost perfectly. So we went into a massive bull flag. We then did an ABC correction in that bull flag. The C leg took us all the way back down to 98,200 before flirting with getting out, and then finally violently breaking out, just like we talked about it again and again and again and again. It's boring, boring, boring until it's not. It is boring, and people, like we talked about this, like there is not one thing that does not exist in crypto is a like gradual ramping up. It's boring or it's not. It is like a pansy or it's violent, and there is no in between. And so that's where we went violently, basically from 98,000 to 123,000 was the height that we got within a matter of how many days was this, ladies and gentlemen? 111 days, 25.29%. To put that in perspective, basically in about 100 days, 111 days, Bitcoin basically just did approximately 3 to 4 years of stock market gains. That's what it did in the last 111 days. Okay, so now we got to take a step back and see, like, where are we going to go? And I will say structurally, technically what I think, and then also we have to factor in the fact that, like, hey, we are in a breakout structure. And I don't want to say all bets are off when you're in a breakout structure, because that's not true. However, just like when we were over here and grossly oversold way longer than we needed to be, the reverse can be true. We can be overbought for longer than we should be. We can be in la la land for longer than what we should be. And what I anticipate to happen is for Bitcoin to just kind of cool off a little bit and chop a little bit here. And what I think is going to happen is the altcoins are going to catch up a bit. That is what I think is going to happen. On the 5 hour, we've had a cross to the downside, and we put in a bearish divergence. Okay. Again, the divergences on the 5 hour could take weeks, if not months, to play out. But this is a bearish divergence. The logical technical thing to do would be backtesting 118, if not 112. That would be the logical technical thing to do. But again, when you break out of this violently, there is no like, okay, well, we're going to be, when we're violent and irrational, we're just going to go straight back to being rational. So I don't necessarily think that that's what's going to happen, but that could happen. That would be more worst case scenario. What I actually think is going to happen is Bitcoin is just going to spend some time here between 117 and 123 and make a new range, just like it's been doing, kind of staircasing its way up here. So that's what I think is going to happen. And while that happens, could we start to get a bit of a rotation from the altcoins? And just think about from going from, 98 to 123, Bitcoin dominance has really started to fall off a cliff here and is flirting with putting in a macro lower low. And all I said was Ethereum getting to 3,000. Ethereum has broken from this bull flag, but it has not had a violent breakout the same way that that Bitcoin has. So it's a little bit behind Bitcoin, in my opinion. The breakout of the bull flag, the same structural move, is going to be about 3,300. That is to the 702, and that is the decider. The 702 is the decider. Are you going to go parabolic, or are you going to get rejected and backtest and reaccumulate? That's where basically Ethereum's at right now. That's basically where XRP is at right now. Same structure. You had your Wyckoff accumulation. We're at the 702. Again, that's the decider. We talked about $3 being the big level of resistance. So are we going to break through this and go bananas, or are we going to get rejected off of the 702, backtest 260, reaccumulate before going off and away? That's the big question. Same thing with Bitcoin, though. There is a bearish divergence, and we got red hot for XRP. Ethereum, got a little bit hot. Same thing as well. It is on the daily, though. I do want to point out Ethereum is not that hot, whereas on the daily for Bitcoin, it's a little bit hotter. And the daily for XRP, it's a little bit hotter. So Ethereum, I think, actually has a little bit of room to get a little bit of that breath, if you will. But there you go. And Ethereum, to me, is the entire key to the rest of the market. As Ethereum goes, and I am publicly one of the biggest haters of Ethereum known to man, okay? But I'm not so foolish to think that it's not the second biggest cryptocurrency, and I'm not so foolish to think that it's not going to, lead the altcoins. And I think that that's what's happening right now. You know, the altcoins are basically, if I pull up the total 2, the total 3, they basically have the exact same chart. And one thing that I do want to point out is the total market cap is flirting with getting into price discovery. It has officially put in a new all-time high. And it's a little bit hot too, but it has a little bit of room to, make some moves. So are we going to chop here a little bit before breaking to the actual full-on price discovery? That would be banana time, in my opinion, when the total market cap gets into $4.5 trillion, which we're not that far away from. Okay. For perspective, we're 21% away. That's what Bitcoin just did. 25% in 100 days. So acting like it can't happen, it absolutely can happen. It can happen quicker than you think. And in fact, I would argue when we go back to Bitcoin, like how fast did it do the 20% move? You know what I mean? How many days did that take? By the way, I said 111 days. I don't think that was right. I think I was on the 5-hour chart. 5 days, it did 13% move. Again, there is no gradual, I called that 111 days. That was wrong. This is 24 days. In 24 days, Bitcoin just did 25%. So thinking that the total market cannot get into price discovery of 4.5 trillion, are we getting a little bit overheated? I think so. Can we be in that flavor for a minute, for months before things actually happen? Absolutely. But I do think that the next phase of this game finally is what we've been waiting for. And I just want to see a little bit more from Ethereum. It's right there, but I'm not willing to just call it just yet. I really want to see 3,300. I like that we're at here. I would probably classify this as a breakout at this point, but it's at the beginning of the breakout. And let's see how violent of a move is Ethereum going to do? Is it going to catch up to Bitcoin? If it does, man, oh my, that could be really, really, really good. So with that, let's get into your guys' questions, comments, concerns. November tops 2 months ago is when? Cheers for the XRP video and the Telegram. Alt season started. Some alts are up 20-40%. Yeah, I agree. It's the start. It is the start. I don't think we're in the midst of it, but I do think we're at the start of it. I do think that we're at the start of it. Can you give me price prediction for Aave? I got you. I'm currently in an Aave trade right now. It's up like 400+%. 450%, I believe, actually. And that's on 3x. Ski, we need more beard bets with the cat. I got you. Stock market did 22% in the last year. That's a killer year, but that's not the average. We have 100 years of data to say that the average return on investment in the stock market is 8%. So yes, does it do 20+%? Sometimes it does. It doesn't do 20+% in 24 days. That's not real for the stock market. But the average over the last 100 years is 8%. Does it outperform that? Yes. Does it underperform that? Yes, it does. But the average over the last 100 years for the stock market is 8%. I heard XRP is going to $5.89, maybe $5.89. You don't think Solana leads alt season this year? It could. It could be a major leader, but it's still only 1/4 of the market cap of Ethereum. So is it going to be a major player? Absolutely. Is it going to lead it, though? I don't know. I don't know that it is. Yo. I don't think it does either, actually. So Christmas in November. Christmas in November. All right, Stellar H-Bar. What's up, Panda? So my targets for Stellar are $1.11, $2.22. H-Bar, 88 cents. We are only getting started on alts. I think so. Like, literally, I think we're here. I want to see a little bit more from Ethereum. And again, I just... This is what I am. The context, when you're watching me, when you understand the filter, I just want to put this out for everyone watching. I try to be slow moving. Okay? And when things are scary, I'm going to be the one, I'm going to be the voice that says, hey, actually, guys, we've been through worse. And when we're pumping, like, I'm going to high five and I'm going to congratulate you. I'm going to be pumped for you. Literally, I'm going to be so pumped for you. But also, I'm going to pump the brakes just a little bit. That's where I try to be, okay? I try to not be so excited when we're pumping, and I try not to be so scared and fearing when we're crashing. And I feel like especially when we're in the fear moments, I feel like I've done a pretty good job of being the voice of reason. But that's just the context of, like, when you're watching me, understand the filter of how I like to move. I think things are getting exciting. Things are basically doing everything that I've mapped out for the last months and months. But I just want to taper everyone's expectations, and I don't want you to blow your load just yet. You know, just one step at a time. Let's let Ethereum get to 3,300, and I think you'll be shocked at how much. Like, just think about Ethereum going from 2,600 to 3,000. What that did for the altcoins. Okay, what that did for the altcoins. So let it wake up a little bit. And again, I'm a big hater of Ethereum too. That's also the context. Ski, what's up? Bitcoin. I'm excited for the next beard bet. Savage mode. Listen, I don't just put them out there. I still have one active, by the way. The only active beard bet. Sonic will reach 7.5 cents by the end of the bull market, or I will shave my beard. That is the active beard bet. Sonic is my number one 100x play. You've been spot on. Very impressed. Thank you, Eli. Eli's been here for a while, so he knows the track record. I've been wrong before. I admit when I'm wrong. But, you know, I'm in the right flavor way more than I'm not. I think there's only been one time where I was outright in the wrong flavor. That was in February. And before that, there was only, like, I was too strict to my, I think back in, the only other time when I would say I was wrong was probably, over here. I was a little bit too strict to my numbers and I wasn't as, I didn't use as much discretion as I should have. But I basically mapped out here back in September of 23 when Bitcoin was at 25,000. I actually had a beard bet that Bitcoin would reach 48K. I said, well, the bet was 40K, but I said the real number was 48K. Same thing that I did with 80K and 100K. That's what we did. We went to 48K, and I had it mapped out that we were going to backtest $35,000. And when we came back to $38,000, I didn't pivot in time. So that was the only other time. I should have just recognized the structure rather than being married to the number. That was back in early 2024. That was probably the only other time where I even had the structural move. I just didn't have the right percentage. And then the only time that I was outright in the wrong flavor was in February. I had the correct event, but I did not have the timing because it was the tariffs. I predicted that the tariffs would be the bottom, but they kept delaying it, and it caused I just wasn't right. So that happens. But I admit when I'm wrong, and I try to be accountable, and I try to learn from my mistakes. And I'm human too. I put on pants just like everybody. So I try to admit my mistakes so I can learn and grow and be better and bring you guys the best content that I possibly can, bring you guys the best quality that I possibly can, and help change as many regular folks' lives as I possibly can. That is my mission. I don't want to be anyone's savior. That's not what I'm here to do. The savior has already came, and it is not me. Not me. So My mission is to help teach you how to fish rather than fish for you. Let's go ski. XRP $5 to $8 is my target. When Soul gonna move? Leroy Jenkins, sup, my boy AVAX prediction. Why alt stuck? I don't know, brother. My brethren in Christ, are they stuck though? What would you call this, brethren? Let's go to the week here. And let's have a little bit of perspective. Are they stuck, my brethren? H-bar is up 51% this week. M is up 159% this week. Curve is up 42% this week. XLM is up 82% this week. Algo is up 60% this week. Sui is up 36% this week. Are they stuck, brethren? Are they stuck? In 1 week. That's 10 years of stock market gains for Pingu. That's 70 years of stock market gains for H-bar. Are they stuck? Or do we not have enough perspective? You let me know. I'm still waiting on ETH. The rest of the market is too. Is Dogecoin a scam? I'm not in Dogecoin. It's not on TradingView, so it's not on my radar. Do you have targets for Pendle? We could take a look at Pendle. ICP, bro. I like ICP. $38 to $100. What do you think about Chainlink? Chainlink, I am in a long on Chainlink right now, and Chainlink is in my kids' portfolio, meaning I believe in Chainlink for the next 45 days, and I believe in Chainlink for the next 10, 15 years. Ondo, I think, does a 3x. I feel like I should move off HBAR XLM and move into ETH. Thoughts? Okay. Let me give you my thoughts, but I want to give you my bias before I give you my thoughts. I don't like Ethereum, okay? I don't like the founder. I don't like the technology. So that's my bias. I am personally biased against Ethereum. Okay, so that is my bias before I tell you what I think. I think over the next 5 years, Ethereum, HBAR, and XLM will outperform Ethereum, personally. I spend so much time analyzing Ethereum in the same breath. Now I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. I get it. But I spend so much time analyzing Ethereum because I'm not foolish to think that it's not going to be, it is the second biggest cryptocurrency, and it is going to lead things off. And I separate my feelings from the actual data and numbers. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I spend so much time doing Ethereum, because it's a big player. It's a major player, and it's going to have major impact. But impact doesn't necessarily equal ROI. I do think HBAR will outperform Ethereum. That's my personal thoughts, but I'm also personally biased against Ethereum. So hopefully that is transparent enough. 43 people of a handful of likes. Come on, people. That's right. Pullback in August. I still think a pullback in August. I'm not going to abandon. I have abandoned my child. I'm not going to abandon my thesis just because we're getting nice and good. It feels good. And historically, August is one of the worst performing months in crypto. We'll see. It could be wrong. It doesn't mean it needs to always be that way. And I could be wrong. And I'd love to be wrong. But I do think that at some point we're going to have a pullback. But the question is, like, how high do we actually go before that happens? That's the big question. I do think that we are just on the... I missed your prediction for Chainlink. My prediction is $38, $78, $178, low, medium, high. Remember when Bitcoin dropped 30% in August 2024? And I sharded myself. Now April's 30% drop. Didn't panic as much. The web. That's the growth. That's what it's all about. And having a journal logging these times, you can draw from this. I draw from this. You guys think that I'm like this, you put me on this pedestal that is not really. I just draw from previous experiences. I just draw from like this is what I actually journal. And I've been doing this for a decade. Okay. What was the price What was the narrative being perpetuated? What was the common thoughts? Were we going to go to 16K? Were we going to go to 12K? Were we going to go to 200K? Were we going to go to 1 million? What was the common price target? What was the reason being perpetuated? And then go back in hindsight and look what actually happened. And if you do that enough times, you will start to develop a pattern that you will see whenever the masses think something, whenever retail is convinced of something because of a fear event or because of a greed event, it's almost always incorrect. It's almost always the opposite. XLM going to go past $2. It's plausible. I don't think it's probable, though. Performance. Do you have top 5 crypto currencies that you would feel comfortable buying for? Solnic is my number 100x play. I like Dynex here, actually. The more that time goes on, I like Flux. I like VeChain here. I like ADA here. So there's some low, medium, and large market caps. XRP $5, $8, $12. October is when anything about to moon. When alt season end, do you see a super cycle? It's very plausible. I've talked about this a lot on my channel. Everyone talks about the 4-year cycle is broken and we're going to be done with the 4-year cycle. I think it's just as plausible. If that's true, what everyone assumes. So you need to think about this in secondary levels and tertiary levels. What does this actually mean, right? Practicality. Let's get razor practical about what are we actually saying. Okay, so a lot of people have made the claim that the 4-year cycle is done for Bitcoin. Okay, I'll listen to your argument. But what does that mean? What most people just assume that it means is it's broken to the downside. What if, hear me out, it's broken to the upside? I think that's equally as plausible. And that crypto, specifically the blue chips, start behaving more like stocks, where they go in this 6-7 years of up, and then they have 1 year of down, rather than basically Bitcoin's been at 3 years of boring, 6 months of scary, 6 months of awesome. That's basically the cycle for Bitcoin for the last 15 years. So I think it's super plausible that, yeah, maybe it breaks the 4-year cycle, but it breaks to the upside. What is the reason ETH lacking behind? Should we worry? Because it always does. It always does. It always feels different, right? It always feels different than what is reality, right? So let's go here. I want to pull up Ethereum specifically. I normally do this with the total 3 because it really illustrates the fact. But let's actually just look at Bitcoin versus Ethereum here. I think that might be interesting. I haven't done this yet, so we're going to be looking at this live. But I know for a fact that total 3 definitely paints a very clear picture. But we'll see what Ethereum looks like. I don't know, actually, what the answer is, but we're going to find out together. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's the same story. Okay. So look, I have them. When I scroll, on the top is Bitcoin on the daily. It's pretty close. It's about as close as I can get it. When I scroll left and right, you can see that the top and the bottom are scrolling together, right? So what that means is they're showing the same dates. And I think that's an important note for everyone watching at home to know, hey, where are we at? So let me try to move this up just a little bit so we can see, okay? So from the C19 crash, let's look at Bitcoin. So right now I'll put a line here so everyone can see what I'm talking about. So why is it lagging behind, Ski? Because it always does. All right, so I got them marked here. These are basically the same dates. Okay, does everyone see that? It's green for Ethereum and orange for Bitcoin. This is the C19 crash. Okay, that was basically, it wasn't the lowest point that it got, but it was the lowest recent point that it got for both of them. All right, and if we scroll, what we can see is they're both kind of picking up. But Bitcoin's already topped in April. And I want you to see where Ethereum is at. Ethereum was only at 1,500, while Bitcoin was already at 60,000. And like Ethereum went on to do a lot more from that same time frame. Look, here's the absolute top, the absolute peak for Bitcoin. Ethereum was at $1,590. So did it have ROI? It certainly did. But it wasn't structural. It was behind structurally last time too. It always feels like they should be together, and they do relatively move together, but it's not going to be like Ethereum's going to top the exact same. Ethereum's going to go parabolic, and especially the other altcoins. So listen, I would argue like, hey, if you want to tell me the 4-year cycle is done, and this is the argument that I made. So this is, let's bring it all back to the mad scientist here. You want to tell me the 4-year cycle is done? Okay, well, structurally, this is where we're at. This is the 2021 cycle, distribution, markdown, accumulation. That's why one of the reasons I was so confident with video evidence documented, I just posted it on my story, the receipts, I have receipts. They were doubting my name. Ski, you didn't call the bottom. How many bottoms, brethren? How many bottoms do I need to call? But the most recent one was April 7th, 2025. I literally said, bottoms in, boys. And then I made a beard bet April 7th, 2025. I have receipts. Okay? I just posted it on my story. I posted the tweet that I said, and I posted the videos that I said, and I posted the replies. Okay? April 7th, 2025. One of the reasons I was so confident was because of this structure right here that we were following perfectly. Okay? And so, like, if that's true, Bitcoin is now just breaking into price discovery. Okay, like, let's go back. What does that mean for the rest of the altcoins? Like, if we're just now breaking into price discovery, which is like here, this is price discovery for Bitcoin. Look where Ethereum is at during the same time. What is this? Let me line this up perfectly again so we can see it. Hold on. Where's Ethereum during the first little peak when Bitcoin just started to really pick up? It was at $700. So, like, we kind of get recency bias. We get in our feelings. It's different this time. It feels so different this time. But, like, mathematically, structurally, data points. Is it, though? Is it really different? Or are we doing the exact same thing? It just feels different because it felt so awesome when we were euphoric last time, and we haven't experienced that yet. We haven't experienced it, y'all. What's a super cycle? Basically, just like multiple bull runs in one bull run. Leroy Jenkins. Quinshawn Juckins, bro. Listen, we're not going to talk about that, bro. I'm having a happy day. Crypto portfolio looking amazing. Brown's portfolio, not so much. All right? We're going to leave that one at the wayside right now. And listen, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm going to be transparent. Can I be real with you guys? I have a rule not to wear another man's name on my back. And I was tempted. I'm not going to wear another man's name on my back. Okay? That's a rule for me. I'm not judging you if that's not a rule for you. But I was tempted to buy, because I was a little bit excited about Judkins. And I was tempted to buy his jersey. And I didn't. And I'm like, this is why we have these rules. I'm not going to rep another man's name. Anyways, I digress. What do you think Bitcoin's next? I think Bitcoin's going to chop for a little bit. NCT's ready. NCT's ready. I think so. NCT looks good. How are we feeling about Doge? Dogecoin looks good. $1.11, $2.40. Those are my targets. Medium, high. broken the upside. Mind blown. It could be possible. Crypto is being adopted. Crypto is being adopted. That is a fact. Way more people are in crypto today than they have been in the past. Also, there's still a huge gap between the amount of people that exist and the amount of people that are in crypto. So crypto definitely is being adopted. We haven't seen nothing yet. I agree. Nicole, when alt season started, I think, listen, I want to pump the brakes a little bit. When I say alt season started, that doesn't mean go max out your credit cards right now. It doesn't mean we're going to be in euphoria and up only. That's not what that means. But I do think it's like Bitcoin has just officially gotten to that first price point where it breaks out, and then now crypto's in the mainstream again. And what I just showed for like the last 15 minutes was like the last time that Bitcoin did that, Ethereum was only at like $700. Okay? So, and it went on to go to like $5,000. That's Ethereum, right? That's the second largest one, and it was the second largest one back then. And I think it's the same sort of thing. So structurally, was it falling along? Was it rising with Bitcoin? Yes, it was, but it wasn't nearly at the height that Bitcoin was until it already peaked. And I think that that's what we're going to see. We're going to start to see a bit of a rotation of capital, just like we saw last time. So alt season has started? I think so. Does that mean up only? Lambos? Pick out your Lamborghini right now? No. It's going to take time to play out. And we got to be patient. We got to let the market come to us. And this is an issue that people do. They get so excited. If for every yin, there's a yang. If you get excited about euphoria, you're going to get freaked out about fear. And guess what? I'm here to tell you, fear's coming. Okay? So let's be slow moving. Let's be stoic. Let's have a plan in place. Let's have an exit strategy so we don't get caught up in the emotional roller coaster ride that is this game. And if you want to have help setting up that plan, I do offer a portfolio review, exit strategy, lifetime access to my course. If you want a personalized exit strategy so you don't have to get caught up in the emotional warfare that is this game, I can help you set that up. If you're interested in that, hit me in the DMs for that. But whether it's with me or somebody else, I think you should have an exit strategy. So yeah. When we say alt season has started, I think so. But we have a ways to go. Okay. There's really only going to be this window when people think about alt season. There's really only a 3-month window, 6-month window, maybe 9-month window. But really, like, there's years of that kind of playing out. And I think we're still there. What's your targets for Sonic? Sonic or Solnic? 88, 2468. Pre-game alt season has started. We just got in the parking lot for the tailgating. Exactly. Eli, I love the sports reference. That's exactly it. The game is at 1 o'clock. We're here at 9, barbecuing some hamburgers. Grilling some ribs, baby. We're barbecuing some ribs and grilling some hamburgers. I said it backwards. We're at the table. We're watching, I don't know, whatever you do when you tailgate. That's what we're doing. The game is later, but we're hanging out now. Perfect example. Perfect analogy. Chilling and grilling. I hope 4-year cycle is not done. Do you have a beard bet that we can connect to 118 before higher? Not on Bitcoin. The only beard bet that I have active is Solnic will reach 7.5 cents before the end of the bull market, or I will shave my beard. Can you go over Naka? I got you, brother. Can you do Dynex chart? I got you too. Web, I know you're in my group. I did go over that in my video today that I put out there. If I don't get to it. I'm not bearish. I'm gonna say if you're bearish. Is it bearish if ETH closes under 3K? Listen, I'm not bearish. I'm just prepared to be bearish on Bitcoin. If that makes sense. Filecoin, I'm not a fan of Filecoin. Mar, there's way too much inflation for me. I don't love that. Make sure you guys drop a follow. Don't just lurk. Drop a follow. We're trying to get this account to 10K. The other account got banned because of extortions from scammers, which I refuse to play ball. But I got that account back, but it's still broken. So we're trying to get this one to 10,000. We're almost there. It's been growing like crazy. By the way, shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys have been doing your thing. I appreciate you guys with all the comments, the likes, the shares, the reposts, the bookmarks, all that stuff. I appreciate you guys. And it feels good that, like, a brand new account, it's been 5 weeks and we already got this thing over 7,000 followers. Crazy. 5 weeks from 0 to 7,000. Insane. Tell me honestly, how much do you think XRP will reach? $5, $8, $12? The Web, thank you for the $10 donation, brother. I appreciate you. Ski, when I send over a portfolio for review and extra strategy I won on Friday, can you do price predictions on my coins for the next bull runs? I have an idea. I got you, Web. Just put that in the email, please. Put that in the email. XLM, $1.11, $2.22. Pingu is printing. XRP. XRP down to 242. That's plausible. I don't think that that's crazy. Actually, my target is if it gets rejected off of $3, going to 260. So the difference between 260 and 240, like that, 240 is on the table. I'm not going to pretend like that's not on the table. I don't think that that's a crazy analysis, actually. My target is 260 if we get rejected off of the 702. Come back to 260, reaccumulate. But, you know, potato, 260, 240. Rose, I'm in a long on Rose right now. It's doing amazing. I'm up, what am I up on that? 70%? What am I up on that? I don't know, actually. Let me see. 58%. I'm up on that trade currently right now. So, I believe in Rose long term, and I believe in Rose in the medium term, and I believe in Rose in the short term. So there you go. I think Rose is a solid play. Here you go. If you guys want all of my trades, you get lifetime access to my course, lifetime access to my Telegram group. There you go. I put this trade out in the Telegram group when it happened. At 0, 2, 3, 3x leverage. You don't need crazy amounts of gains to get crazy amounts, or you don't need crazy amounts of leverage to get crazy amounts of gains. That's a mistake that I see people making, in my opinion, is they get way over exposed and way over leveraged with their trading. What's your favorite AI project? Probably Flux. Probably Flux. It's programmed NCT to 25 cents. I think so. When do you think Solnic will make a new all-time high? It's boring, boring, boring until it's not. It's grueling, grueling, grueling until it's not. That's how it goes. Months and months of grueling. You've been in this. You've been through the cycles with Solnic. It goes through these long periods of boring before just ripping. That's what we just had. We had a long period of boring. And I think the next thing is going into price discovery. I think we're in phase C, and we're about to go into phase D if we're not already in phase D right now. Phase E is price discovery for Solnic. So there you go. It is program. Prime, bro. I got you. It's prime time. All right, let's take a look at prime. Selling climax, secondary test, spring, markdown, accumulation, sign of strength to take you to about $5. Retracement is $10. Parabolic is $40. Thanks. Thoughts on ICP? I like ICP, yep. I'm super patient, guys. Like, I'll just be in the wrong flavor for months at a time. If you can't take the heat, then stay out of the kitchen. But that's how I operate. I like the heat. I sit in the sauna every day. But yeah, I think it is. XLM, $1.11, 222. XLM is ripping. A lot of people are asking me about XLM today. Guess what? People haven't been asking me about that. That kind of leads me to think something. What's the next stop for Solnick? 8 million. And then it's going to go to 40 million. And then it's going to go to where my beard is safe. It's hard to do TA on Filecoin because there's so much inflation. I can do TA on the market cap, and then you could try to do the math if that's what you want. There's a lot of inflation on Filecoin. I'm not a fan of it. Just keeping it real. Just got into crypto a few weeks back. Currently on Kraken. What are you using right now? This program right here, you don't buy anything on this. It's called TradingView. This is a free program. You can have a paid version, but I don't recommend doing it. I have the paid version for presentation purposes. But if it were just me just marking out charts, I could easily get by off of the free version. And that's what I recommend people do. Max out the free version before you upgrade. But this is definitely, it's a free program. This is how I do my charts. The main exchange that I use for leverage trading is BitUnex. I think they're pretty solid. You're going to start doing evening lives like later. This is a good spot for me. Like 4 or 5 p.m. Central Time. I do late lives when I'm running late. Maybe on like the weekends, like on a Saturday or something. I'm about to touch gold. I'm a gold and silver stacker myself. I buy gold and silver every single week, just like everybody, or not just like everybody else, but just like I buy Bitcoin. NCT to $100 when aliens start cybersecurity adoption mandates. Maybe. Hey, Ski. Quant. I like Quant. Quant's a good play here. My target's $300, $700, $1,300. I'm so disappointed in alts. The beatings will continue until morale is improved. Link, 38, 78, 178. Those are my targets. How about Jasmine? 10, 11, 12 cents. Low, medium, high. Algorand, 222, $8. Is this the worst bull run ever? I don't think so. I think we're just getting started, friend. Like you could have said the same thing in 2021. You know what I'm saying? What's your opinion on DOT? I like DOT. $20, $40, $100. I think. That's not super fresh in my brain. Let me make sure. I don't remember my targets on DOT. Now I'm second guessing myself. Let me make sure. I don't want to lie to anybody. I think that those are my targets. Yes. 20, 40, 100. Is VeChain still a big play? I think so, yes. VeChain is one of my favorite top blue chips. This is the best. Listen, this is the mindset I need in my life. Come on now. This is what I need in my life. From the Fortune Limited. Said this is the best bull market ever. We had the longest time to stack. Come on now. That's a glass half full type guy. Or gal. I don't know. I don't want to assume. Look like no return for DOT. I mean, you could have said the same thing about Bitcoin. Thank you for the summer of life. You savage. Somebody gave me a crazy gift earlier. I didn't see who it was, but thank you for all the gifts. Let me see if I can read them. Wait, hold on. We got a new subscription. Thank you for the subscription. Big D, thanks for the gifts. Jordan, thank you for the tiny hot dog. Thank you for the manifesting. Thank you guys for all the goats, the roses, the Gav's dad. Thanks for the hearts, the roses, the popular for bins. Sorry, I missed out on all those. Bush. I can't see the name. It's so small on my screen, but let me see if I can. I'm going to just say Bush. Thanks for becoming a member, you savage. I appreciate you. I just put out, actually, for the members, I just put out a video today doing a deep dive on the markets and some trades that I'm interested in. Curve. So check that video out, brother. Reminder, if you guys want to do a portfolio review, personalized exit strategy, lifetime access to my course, lifetime access to my exclusive group, hit me in the DMs if you're interested in that. That is a service that I offer if you want to have a personalized exit strategy. Let's check out Curve. So hit me in the DMs for that. I will never message you still to this day. Retracement is about $3. Parabolic, $16. I don't know what the inflation on Curve is. By the way, follow me on CoinMarketCap. We're verified over there too. Ondo, 3x from here. Is SHIB dead? Everything's dead until it's not. That's how crypto works. And if there's one thing you could learn from me, like, listen, XRP is ripping. I need you to know that XRP was under 40 cents for 5 years. Do you know how many people said that XRP was dead? There's still some XRP haters out there. But I need you to understand, for 5 years, not 5 weeks, not 5 days, 5 months, that's nothing. 5 years, a half of a decade, XRP was below 40 cents. Do you understand? Everything's dead until it's not. That's not how crypto goes. It's just not just up in a straight line. That's not how crypto works. In reality, crypto is 90% boring and sideways and beat you to the death with boredom. 5% is scary, 5% is euphoric. That's how crypto works. XYO, please. I got you, brother. 5 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents. Let me look at the inflation on Curve. I got distracted. Decent bit of inflation on, so the FDV is 2 billion, the market cap's less than $1 billion, so more than double. Great heavens. In my opinion, ADA is so undervalued right now, it's going to pop. I feel it in my bones. I agree with you, Cole. Matic target, $5, $9. GT to $1,000 when the reptilians required tokens to be travel. Damn it. I don't want to live in that world. Skeet, in your opinion, are most of your mid targets going to hit? Half. Almost all of my low targets will hit, I think. Some, like 60%, 65% of my mid targets will hit. And then less of my parabolic will hit. Was that Peanut Ski? That was Peanut Ski. He's over here ripping the blinds off the wall like a savage. He's a scoundrel. Bro. Oh my god. Sorry, how long you been on? How long have I been on? 52 minutes and 27 seconds. When will Quant run? When everything else does. If Quant breaks 500, oh my god, brother, this is a family show. I'm a family guy. Eh. Dot, we went over Dot already. 2040, 100. Can we see Flux at $10? I definitely see Flux at $10. My target is 3, 5, 13, 20. What comes first, Solnick to $1 or Brown Super Bowl? Definitely Solnick to $1. Raven Coin. I like Raven Coin. What was Jasmine again? 10 cents, 11 cents, 12 cents. Low, medium, high. Low, medium, high. Thoughts on DAG? DAG's solid. Schmedium. It's like the shirt I'm wearing. Schmedium. How many Solnick? How many Solnick what? Pale AI. All right, let's check out Pale. This is distribution. It looks like it's starting to reaccumulate. It has broken this downtrend. Sign of strength is about 26 cents. Retracement is 46 cents. Price discovery is $1.33. I don't know what the inflation on this is, though. I should do that first. All right. A lot of inflation. This is a no from me, Tony. There's way too much inflation on this. Okay, I'm sorry. I lied. I was looking at the wrong number. 95. My mistake. 95. Okay, yeah. So this looks good. Decent. Good inflation. Good tokenomics. Just a very small amount of inflation. Very negligible, I would say. I was looking at the wrong number. My apologies. Yeah, that looks good. All right, guys. I feel my energy fading. I have not eaten today. I'm about to go, what is inflation? Inflation is the diluting of the product. All right, reminder. If you want to get a portfolio review, personalized exit strategy, lifetime access to my course, lifetime access to my Telegram group, hit me in the DMs for that. If you guys are interested, I think that whether it's with me, yourself, or somebody else, you should set up an exit strategy before getting into euphoria. Navigating the market in the euphoria is a difficult thing if you don't already have a plan. So, set up a plan. Oh my God. TikTok is telling me it's been an hour. That's all right. We're about to get off here anyways. So that's going to be it for this time. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never message you first. Those are scammers. I'm not going to ask you for money. I'm not going to message you for money. If you message me, I will message you back, but I will never message you first and ask you for money or ask you how your trading's going or any of the following. Those are scammers. Do not redeem. All right. I'll be live tomorrow and the rest of the weekdays around 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 Eastern. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Peace, love, prosperity.